Hi everyone, this is iflowboy. Welcome. This is a short broadcast that I'm doing, and it's actually for a special reason. I am a very close mate to Stephen Johnson. Actually, no, that's a lie. I would be nice to be a very close friend of Stephen Johnson, but I guess he picks his friends very carefully, and I'm not in that circle of trust, and maybe I will never be. But I followed his father from pre-1981, but obviously 1981 was a pretty good but bad year in the scheme of things. And, you know, followed his dad all the way to the end of his career till he retired from racing. And then, of course, saw Stephen come through and take over the mantle. And, you know, I guess something about seeing father and son competing in motorsport that appeals to me. And so, yeah, I take a bit of an interest in what Stephen gets up to. And went down to the Newcastle 500 event a couple of weeks back now, 2 weekends ago or 3 weekends ago, time flies. And didn't get to meet Stephen because their category race was delayed on the Sunday, but did speak to the pit crew. Took some photos of the awesome Mustang that he has been competing in, not only competing in, but breaking records in the Touring Car Masters series, where he broke the record for the most consecutive round wins whilst he was down at Newcastle. And he did that whilst carrying success penalties. I learned a bit about that from talking to some of his pit crew. Anyway, I took some photos and I said to them that I would make a livery. Now, it's not the exact same Mustang that he's driving, but it's very close to it. The Mustang that I've used is the Boss 429 Mustang in the Gran Turismo 7 game, but it is very close. And it's also very close in terms of the wheels. I can't quite get the exact type of wheels that Stephen had fitted to his car. They are the same spoke pattern, but these wheels, or the rims that I've had to use, actually have the knockoff nuts in the middle, which is the three-pronged that you hit with a spanner or a hammer to knock off, like the old-fashioned wheel hubs. But it's the only one that has the exact same spoke pattern in the wheel that I could use and replicate the wheel as closely as to the real thing. So I've sent him some pictures, but I also said that I would make a video of it driving around the track, and of course, where else could I do that but at Mount Panorama? And I'm hopeful that Stephen will actually drive the car up there. I'm sure he will. I haven't looked at the TCM calendar, which is really bad of me, but I would be amazed if they're not going to be up there in October. So, having said all of that, let me grab the car, and I'm going to do a couple of laps, and I'm going to try and take some shots, and then I'll actually do it as a race after that. That way I can actually save a replay. I can take some different angles and do a second YouTube video, and then I'm going to send the links of both to Stephen so that he, Jet, Dick, whoever else in his circle of trust, his mum, wife, whoever, can have a look, and hopefully they're happy with what I've done, and hopefully it gives him a different perspective of his car being brought to life in a digital virtual format. So buckle up, as they say. We're going to bring the car out onto the track now. Obviously you won't see the car until I get it out on the track, because that's just the way the game works. So this is the driver's seat. Now, of course, the driver's position, if I go into the driver's seat, obviously Stephen has this car built as a full-blown race car, and so the interior doesn't really look I'm going off track. Doesn't look really anything like what's inside his car, because it is a full-blown race car, so the interior doesn't look like it. But if I jump outside, Here you can see the back of it, and as I said, we'll get better views when we do a race, because then I can save it as a replay. I can't really save doing these touring laps as a replay. From a car engine sound, not quite sure that's the same sound. I won't give away what power the car produces. It was shared with me, and that's how I know that he was running with some success penalties, because he has been winning. But I've tried to spec this car as closely as I can. So that's the back of it, that's the front of it, and I really love this livery. Again, it's tricky for me while I'm driving it. I can park it and we can do a bit of I'll get up to the top at McPhillamy just before Skyline, and I'll park it, and then I can do a bit of just a quick whip around to show you the sides of the car. I'm just cruising along, as you can see there. Funny thing, I was told that the car had the cars run an extremely long first gear in this category. I was talking to one of the other drivers that had an XY Ford, and he was telling me that the gears are very long in these cars, which I guess makes sense given that they only have, I think the majority of them only run a 4-speed box, but I could be wrong. I didn't actually notice and I didn't ask, so I'll pull it up here. Or maybe not in the shadow. Sorry, that's the steering wheel, my steering wheel rattling, my game steering wheel. So then we can have a bit of a look around. So I've tried to be as accurate as I can, Stephen, with the livery. And you can see, as I said, the wheels are the knockoff rims, because I couldn't get the exact same. Oops, sorry, it's just because of where I'm parked, it's zooming in. I'm not doing that myself. That's annoying. Okay, let me roll the car down here so we can go right around the car down to the runoff lane. So that's my wheel. Yeah, so you can see that the wheel pattern is accurate in terms of the spokes, but there's no other rim that allows me to keep it looking like a 3-piece rim except these American Racing knockoff rims. But yeah, I've done my best to make it as accurate to the real thing as I can. I think I've done a pretty good colour match. And, you know, in real life the car looks amazing, so if you have a chance to get to any of the V8 Supercar rounds, or indeed any of the other TCM rounds that might be getting run outside of the Supercars calendar, definitely suggest you do that. Yeah, I don't know what your race suit is, Steve. I can actually create your race suit too, but I don't know what it is. I haven't seen what you wear. All the in-car shots when I was at Newcastle I couldn't see. We're in the grandstand at turn 1, not far from the paddock for the TCMs. So, but yeah, I never actually saw you even getting in or out of the car. So, yeah, so that's the car. Let's go do some fun laps. I don't normally drive at this, what I call as you can see, I don't normally drive it at this. That's the one thing about driving them virtually, Stephen. You can do that and not have to look your mechanics in the eye and say, sorry boys. But yeah, I don't know. I haven't even checked what setup I've got, because I can set this car up, but yeah. And I don't normally drive in this, what I call roof chase cam. So it's got plenty of torque. I think I might have a bit more power than you've got. Yes, wheel spinning over the hump. Whoa! Well, I wasn't anticipating that, that's for sure. Alright, I might go to my normal. I don't drive in car either. I don't know why. I just never been comfortable. This is my normal driving position. She's a handful. And of course on my steering wheel, just to flag something here, this is not a direct drive wheel. Anybody watching, including Stephen, if he does any online racing, you've probably got a direct drive wheel. I am getting one. So the steering wheel doesn't actually allow you to catch things as easy as a direct drive does, or a real thing would in your car, in your real car. I drive an M3 in real life, not the current one, the one previous, an F80. It's got a bit of grunt, a bit of torque, and it can be a bit loose at the back, but it's quite controllable because you've got proper steering response. But in the game here, that's what happens. I've got full opposite lock on then, and I just couldn't catch it. It just won't respond quick enough in the game. It's a bit of a downside. Mind you, this setup on the car is obviously pretty horrible. I could tame it down so it's not that loose at the back, but I'm just doing some laps. Maybe when I start the race I'll go in and I'll do a tune. Judicious with the throttle. Oh yeah, see, that's ridiculous. See, my setup is really bad. Yeah, maybe I should go and change it now. See, it's kicking out everywhere. Even there it had a big slide on, and I'm not going fast at all. I am running soft race tyres, so it's not like I haven't got grippy tyres. Oh, wow. Maybe I need to re-brake. Okay, let's try some re-brake, see if we can settle it down a little bit. Maybe not. Try one more lap. See whether I can keep it a bit better. See the throttle application, I'm not going for full throttle because very loose over this hump too, I suspect. Oh. I don't know, maybe it is as much of a handful, mate, and if it is, I take my hat off to you. Whoa! Wow. Super loose at the back. I don't know what setting it's on, but it's, oh yeah, I'm couldn't even get out to near the grate then in terms of correcting, so I'm just so light on the throttle through there. Wow. Okay. Yeah, well, I don't think there was anything purposeful about that particular location where I had that off just then, and I don't want to remind Dick of exactly where that was, because I think we all know exactly where that was in terms of 1981. See, I'm not even giving it full throttle there because I know it's going to step out. How's this wheel spin over this hump? I think the tyres might have warmed up a bit more. Alright, I'm going to back out of this. Let's try and get out. No, it still wouldn't go through there. Wow. Okay. Need to tune it. Or at least try and settle that rear end down, because that's just suicidal, isn't it? Just having a bit of a guess here at the tune. Actually, tone that. Yeah, tone that down a bit. Right, let's just run with that and see what happens. Now the tyres will be cold, so very of weaving. Wow, even then it just let go. Just going to keep quiet, let you enjoy the sound of the engine. Got a bit more understeer at the front, but all in all, wow. On the over rev. Oh, okay, that's not normal. I've got the diff turned down too. It's really weird that it's behaving in a most unfriendly way. That's 90-degree lock then, straight away to try and catch it, and it's just not responding. And again, yeah, I'm just not getting any feedback from the wheel. Turning is bad. Wow. as you can... How do I tame this rear end? Oh, wow. Call myself slideshow iflowboy in a minute. You want to dig great one-liners. He's a bit loose, Mike! Oh, no way. No way he just snapped like that. Just getting bogs of wheel spin. I don't know what power I'm set to. It's pretty high. Maybe it's higher than your real car. Hey Ring, how you doing? Friend of mine from Canada. Well, we're not that far off from supercar pace, so that kind of gives you an insight into how much power I've got under my foot. If it wasn't for all the little moments of correction. Trying to be a bit more smooth so I don't end up losing it, but I'm in third gear there and yeah. I need to tame this rear end. I'm really frustrated that it's being so bad. What power am I running? I'm running 776 horsepower. That might have something to do with it. Turn that down. Not running any ballast, am I? No. Coming down here. I'm going to try something like negative rake. I don't know if it's going to help because I can't shift the balance of the weight to the rear, which is kind of what I need in some respects. Let's see if turning these down make it a bit more softer at the rear maybe. I could be totally wrong, but we'll see. And if Stephen does get to watch this video, and hopefully he will, I'm interested in his thoughts about coming over the hill into McPhillamy. Does he ride the outside ripple still? Because in the game, it seems to be a bit dangerous to do it because it tends to kick the car out and you can't find the apex. And you end up running off into the sand. Oh, that's ridiculous. Come on. Definitely a sub 210 in it. Wow, just ran straight past them. That's a very strange thing to do, to hold second through there, but the car just seems to be too snappy all through here. See, so if I ride that ripple strip just then, that wasn't too bad, but, oh, nasty. But if you get it wrong, then you will understeer off, so... So I'm running about 100, well I won't say, but definitely more than 100. More horsepower. Ah, wow. Get some grass on the tyres in this game also. Car just doesn't like it. Oh, that was me. That wasn't the car. That was me. Put the wheel on the grass. I was trying to make sure that I got it right out to the grate, and I didn't, and that I didn't have to put too much lock in to turn it on that corner, because over that rise it seems to be pretty loose. Being so careful through here. That wasn't very good. can't catch it. Just can't catch it. Once it gets past about 20 degrees, even though you're trying to put lock on before it gets to that point, it just won't come back. Sudden I've changed that ride height. I think there's too much weight going forward into the brakes and not working as effectively. Oh, come on. Come on. So, just to explain, with the wheels gives you a 900-degree rotation. But as it's a belt wheel, it's really slow to react. So what I mean by that is, I turn, but the ratio with which the steering wheel reacts is nowhere near what it would be in a normal car. It's the reason why in this game, people with steering wheels these kind of steering wheels find it extremely difficult to do drifting versus using the hand controller. Because I'm driving along now, and if I turn the wheel 45 degrees now, right, it's okay. But if I have to turn it back the other 90 degrees, for whatever reason, the wheel just doesn't respond as quickly. So I just did, there you go, that's 90 degrees almost lock. I put in to then stop it going left, but it just doesn't react. So whether it's the steering physics or it's the wheel, not 100% sure, but I'm going to say it's the wheel. Because I keep getting told that the direct drive wheels do not have the same issues. I'm braking at the exact same point, and it's definitely not pulling up like it was before. I'm running the same brake bias. Overcorrects sometimes and then it won't correct. That's the frustrating thing about it. It's almost like it's trying to figure out at different speeds how much steering lock should be applied no matter how much input you're giving it, like almost like a speed variable steering. If anybody has, yeah, there you go, see example 1. Doing about 80 k's an hour faster then, put the same amount of lock in and no response. Yeah, speed variable assisting, at lower speeds, you know, your turns are more instant, and the faster you're going, the more input you need to give, basically, because it's allowing for the speed difference. You know, Euros usually have it, there might be some Japanese cars that have it. so ginger breaking into the chat. Oh, come on. That's just nuts. Come on. I've been so ginger going into the chase so that I keep it nice and straight so I can brake. And then it just goes and does that. What do you do? I'm going to have one more crack. And then I'm going to turn the power down if I can't tame it at this power. It's a bad start to the lap. Get a wheelie then. I don't know if you ever get to do wheelies, but I'm backing out here because I'm just wary of it. Like that, jeepers. I mean, it's funny, but it's not, because I'm trying to put down a decent lap and just understeered badly then. Now I'm going to hit the wall. Yeah, of course. Shit. This thing is a handful at this power. What I'm going to do is I'm going to drop it by 100 horsepower, and you watch the difference. It'll be so much better behaved. I know it. Super safe on the brakes. I'm just super early on the brakes there too, just so I could make sure I could find the apex. There you go, right. So 209. I reckon I will be able to go faster with 100 horsepower less. So what am I? 776. So I need to go to 676. It's probably gone too far, has it? Yes, I have. 676. Might be too high. Yep. Might not be able to get it right at 676. Let's see. 32. 674. Close enough. Alright, so I've just dropped it by 100 horsepower. Let's see what it's like now. I suspect it will be... I should set the brake balance to -3 and then 2 to save me having to manually set it. It's okay. No, it's still taily. Man, I need to figure out what the rear end likes. Steering arm broken then, probably. Wow. Okay, it's behaving differently. Ah dear. determined to get this car right before I actually do a race. So I want it to go around the track good. Or well. Okay, well, that's probably the best I've managed to get through the chase, even though I was offline. The pace that I carried through the right-hander into the chase was definitely better. So I'm just steering there though. Let's see. So I expect this speed will be down. We're 100 horsepower down, but I'm up. There you go, look at that. That was all because I was able to maintain a better mid-corner out of Hell's Corner. Oh, come on! Seriously? Apex, I'm getting it turned around to get the power down where I want it. spinning like crazy. Come off it. Alright, I'm going to stop this. I need to play around with the rear end because it's just out of control. And I don't know why. Why are you so out of control at the rear of this car? Try firming everything right up, but I don't think that's the answer. And I can put ridiculous camber on it. I know Stephen runs really high camber on his. I really don't think this is going to solve it. Making it super... Don't think this is going to solve it at all. Maybe... hang on a minute. Maybe that's been the problem the whole time. Sorry, I didn't notice that. It's going to make it a lot more understeery, but balance again. Understeery. Definitely more stable through there. Need to be a bit more aggressive when I throttle out of turn one, that's for sure. Broke way early there, I'm thinking. Test. of steery, but it didn't snap at the rear. I'm probably slower there, but at least doing that shows me that the car is more stable. Except when that happens, take a breath. Take a breath. Still snapped there under full power. But it's definitely better. About 90 to 95% throttle avoids the wheel spin and the rev limiter out of turn 9. There you go for that. Oh dear. Wow. Well folks, this is the greatest exhibition of driving a car, but I've got to tell you the car is rather unwieldy. It was almost at full, but not. I lifted a little bit. So I've got to be right in on that apex, keep the wheel as straight as possible to even get close to full power through there. Turning early there. So I'm going to brake a lot early under this setting. That's interesting. She almost snapped on me then. Sorry for the turn in. I hate it when I don't get through there clean. I just touch the wall because the car is just nervous. lot of strain on that engine. These brakes just don't seem to be pulling up. I definitely think that it's taking a while for the tyres to warm up too. Oh, what did I do then? Short shifted too early. Short shifted too early. It's a tautology. Short shifted. Every time it snaps there, I correct and I'm hitting the wall. And then it snaps there too, even at low speed. Come on, car, what are you doing? It goes through there no problem at a faster speed. Well, a little bit slower, but close. Roll off, and it loosens it. I can recover it, I'm way offline. Crappy because had to go on auto. Alright. Can't start a race because I'm on my own. It's a problem. Alright, I'm going to can this video, and later on I'll make the race video, and then I'll save the replay, and then I can share it. In the meantime, I'll try and figure out why the car is not going so good. Thanks for watching. Apologies that I didn't get to show the full car in Fury, as they say. But yeah, stay tuned for the actual race video where I can then save the replay and share that. Thanks everyone. Be good, and we'll talk to you again soon.